Hi, I'm Melanie from the Pelham Public Library. Thank you for joining us again for another craft video. Today's craft is a mini button bowl that you can use as a ring dish or on your nightside table. Enjoy. Here's what you're going to get in your kit to make your mini button bowl. Buttons, 2 sticks for the glue, a balloon, 1 container of Modge Podge, and 1 container of glue. You can also use a paintbrush if you happen to have one at home. First step, you're going to blow up a balloon. Make sure it's tied nice and tight, and you're only going to blow it up to about half of its size because we're making a mini bowl. Take a glass and place your balloon into the glass to hold it. Next, you're going to open the glue that's been provided. Don't worry, it is white, but it will dry clear. I'm going to be using a foam brush, but you can use your stick. So you're going to take a fair amount of glue starting at the top of your balloon, and you're going to start applying the glue in a circular motion around the balloon. You're going to be covering no more than 1/8 to 1/4 of the balloon with glue. So you can go in a circular motion, and with the glue you'll be able to decide the edge of your bowl. Next, after letting the glue dry for about 5 minutes to get tacky, you're going to start applying the buttons. I usually put one of the bigger buttons in the very center, which will help balance your bowl. But you can get creative and put all kinds of different colors and any combinations. For this size button bowl, I use small to no more than medium buttons, just so the buttons will not slide off and be too heavy for the glue. For this project, you need approximately about 50 buttons, but we provide you with those. So you will continue in an outward motion, applying your different colored buttons and any pattern that you desire. You may have to slide the buttons up towards the center every once in a while. And make sure when you are applying the buttons that you take the moment to kind of pat them down to help seal them. So this is what it looks like from the top. After a few hours, your buttons will have dried onto the balloon. The next step is applying a layer of glue to the buttons. You will know the first layer has dried because it is clear. Be very gentle when you're applying the glue onto the buttons as to not pop the balloon or move the buttons around. You will use a generous amount of glue to cover all of the buttons from the top to the bottom. It's important to get into the little nooks and crannies of the buttons as well, as the white glue will form a bond between the buttons. Continue to do this until all of the buttons are covered. Your buttons will have gone clear with the glue that you have used, and it'll be time to apply a layer of Modge Podge. Even though the Modge Podge is white, it will dry clear as well, like the glue. Modge Podge is a little bit more liquidy, than white glue. So you find it may drip a little bit. That's why it's always important while doing these crafts to use a tablecloth on your table. As you can see, most of the buttons have dried clear. So we're going to put a nice thick layer of Modge Podge on all of the buttons as well. If you get a little bit over onto the balloon, that is fine. And as you see, I'm using a foam roller, but you can use the sticks or a paintbrush or a little foam roller paintbrush that you have at home. So we'll just apply a generous layer of Modge Podge across all of the buttons, again getting into all the nooks and crannies so it will adhere and bond all the buttons together. Let this dry for about 6 hours or overnight. This is what your balloon and buttons look like after the Modge Podge has set and it is clear. Cut a small hole in the balloon near the base and it will deflate. Therefore, you will be able to easily remove the balloon from your bowl. And this is what it looks like when it's all dried. It is a tiny bit flexible, don't be worried about that. But if you feel that it is a little too flexible, then you can add a layer of Modge Podge inside once again and let that dry for a number of hours. So that is what I'm going to do with my bowl. It's just a light, gentle layer inside the bowl to make it a little bit more firm. And then I will let that dry for about 6 hours or overnight. Here is the final product, all finished, perfect for rings and other little trinkets that you may have. If you like today's button crafts, the Pelham Public Library has many other craft books that you might enjoy. One of our latest books is this book on macrame, which is very, very popular. It is by Tansy and Wilson and Cyan Hamilton. It has a number of techniques and projects for you to make at home for beginners, which will be very, very easy. It comes with illustrations and beautiful pictures for you to enjoy. Since everybody's stuck at home right now, this craft book on garden projects and crafts that you can make has all kinds of different things you can make, from planters to birdhouses. It is another fairly new book on our list, and this one is by Debbie Wolf. You can pick it up and enjoy. And lastly, for someone who likes a little bit more of a challenge, we have this beautiful book on leatherworks with wonderful illustrated pictures on how to make anything from belts to wallets. And this is another great book that you can get at the Pelham Public Library.